she's got the 15th up here, but she's got it. Okay. Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the May 22nd, 2025 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please. Here.
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 Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
Sir.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of May 15th, 2025.
I recommend the approval of those minutes. I'm sorry. A motion to approve those minutes.
And I second them.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Bid openings, I don't see any. Number 6, matters from other department heads or their representatives.
Good morning to the board. Just a quick update, Columbia Avenues start next Tuesday.
Okay. So they are going to be on target for Tuesday?
They'll start on Tuesday. It was originally planned to start on Monday,
Right.
but they indicated that they would only do a little bit of work this week and then be closed the whole holiday weekend, so they decided it'd be better to go Tuesday after the holiday, so.
Perfect.
just wanted
Thank you,
an
sir.
update on that.
Thank you. Anything else from department heads or their representatives? Okay, moving on to correspondence. Letter A, correspondence received from Dean Button advising that NIPSCO has closed the bike trail near the horseshoe sign at Indianapolis and Casino Center Drive to Fifth Avenue due to a gas leak. This will remain closed for a few weeks.
Yeah, I've been, talked to NIPSCO representatives, so they'll be reopened by the 1st of June, which is the Leon's Triathlon Day, so. They have a gas leak that they have to replace a section of gas line, basically from where the entrance is to Casino Center Drive, almost to Fifth Avenue, almost that whole section.
Wow.
So they're tearing up the bike trail to do that. The gas line will be on the north side of the bike trail where there's a little grass strip, and they'll have all that restored for June 1st.
Okay, we don't need any action on that,
Just
correct?
information.
Just so they're going to
Well,
do
I
it,
mean,
so-
it's closed,
Yeah, that's what I'm
right? I
saying.
mean,
It's already gonna be
I
done,
guess
so.
the appropriate thing to do would be to approve the closure because the bike trail has been closed,
Okay,
right? So, yes.
Okay, motion to approve.
I second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter B, correspondence received from St. Margaret Mary Church requesting street closure for the procession of Corpus Christi on Sunday, June 22nd, 2025, at 1:10, I'm assuming that's PM, for approximately 45 minutes with HPD approval. Yeah.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter C, correspondence received from Aubrey Zelinka, requesting to close Fayette Street from Oakley to Holman for the downtown Hammond Cruise Nights from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. The dates are the following: June 2nd, 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th of 25, July 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th of 25, August 4th, 5th, 11th, 18th, and 25th of 25, and September 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th of 25, and October 6th and 13th of 2025. Wow.
The only concern I have is that if you're going all the way to Holman, there might be an issue with the entrance and exit from the bank and their parking lot, because I know that's where the entrance is for the residents.
Yeah,
So I would request PD to meet with Ms. Alenka and determine how best to address that.
okay. When is the first one, June 2nd?
Yeah, we got time.
Up to you. I mean, I guess June 2nd is the first one, which is next week, so I'm assuming they want to,
Monday. Week from Monday,
move
yeah.
forward. Isn't that, well, when would that be? A week from Monday?
We'd have time for next meeting.
Okay, are they here today?
She was, Councilman Salinas said that she wanted to be here today to address this, but I don't see her.
If she shows up, we can address it, but maybe for now, I just don't want to, obviously, it's a good thing that they're doing this downtown. I think
Yeah.
it'd be good for downtown. I just don't want to, I want to make sure that we're okay going all the way to Holman instead of maybe Fayette.
Okay, I think we're going to defer to next week to give time for either myself or Captain Bunner to have a meeting with Ms. Zelinka.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm clear. I'm not trying to, I mean, I think it's a great event, so.
Okay,
Motion to defer this decision until next meeting.
I second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter D, correspondence received from Derek Durr, 1004 Drackert, requesting to close off Tapper Street from Eaton to Drackert on June 21st, 2025, from 4 PM to 8 PM for the graduation party submitted for approval. He's got neighbors, I think we're good, right? I think we're good now?
Oh, yeah.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter E, correspondence received from Brian Miller, Director of Public Safety, Purdue University Northwest, requesting to hold outdoor movies at the commitments field from 8 PM to 10:30 PM on the following dates: June 5th, 19th, July 2nd, 17th, and 24th, and August 7th, and September 22nd of 25, submitted for approval.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter 8, number 8, matters from other board members.
Nothing, sir.
Nothing. Moving on to new business, letter A, resolution and intergovernmental agreement with Hammond Redevelopment Commission to transfer property located at 1149 through 11th State Street, submitted for approval. I know there's got to be another number after 11.
That's weird address.
Does anybody know what that?
I think that's the property along the tracks, right? I believe it is.
Yeah, this is property that the redevelopment commission wants to be able to market.
Yeah.
And so,
Could be all the way down.
yeah, it's property that the redevelopment commission wants to continue to market. And so I'd request its approval. I can, this is on their, they got that new website with property. So this is just property they want to make sure is from city over to redevelopment. So I'd request its approval.
Okay. Motion to approve.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter B, request for rental registration hearing, submitted for approval. What's that? What day you want to?
Okay. Motion to set that meeting date for June 5th, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter C, garage sale permits submitted for approval.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter D, right-of-way permits received from engineering, submitted for approval.
Two this morning for your consideration, one on Chicago Street, 1300 block, near the Dollar Tree building to do some repairs, and one for Memorial Park at 5927 Wallace Road.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Letter E, mobile food vendor application for Sweet Glee. Okay. Anybody from Sweet Glee here? Can you come up to the mic? That's what we're gonna ask. Location. Good morning, how are you? Can you tell us a little bit about your company? And in particular, we want to know the hours that you're going to be operating, what you're going to be selling, and where you're going to be located.
I am sell ice cream per packet or my time is 2 to 7.
PM, 2
Yeah.
PM to 7 PM, okay?
Yeah, and I am around the streets. I don't parking any place.
Constantly moving?
Yeah,
Okay, so you have like a little cart or
it's a truck.
truck, small truck?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, you're going to be continually moving. You're not going to be ever parked on private property or anything like that? Okay.
it's continue
Just
move.
know that you cannot park and stop for an extended period of time except for a sale in a residential area. You have to keep moving.
You understand that?
Yeah,
So at no time can you stop the truck and just kind of just park in some place unless you're selling some ice cream at that time, okay?
yeah.
Okay. You have any other problems? Anybody questions?
No, just, if they do want to stop and park somewhere, it just has to be within the ordinance, which is, it has to be in a commercial street, it has to be so many feet from the corner, it can't be near another brick and mortar, but residential, you have to keep moving.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other concerns, problems?
Good, nothing.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, just make sure that you stick with what you told us today, okay? 2
Yeah.
to 7, keep moving, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
And display the permit, the sticker, you'll have to make sure you display the sticker that you
Yeah.
get.
Clearly display, okay? Thank you. Okay, letter F, lease agreement with Pitney Bowes, received from the Controller's Office, submitted for approval.
Motion to approve.
And I second that.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Number 10, old business, letter A, status for 6333 Garfield.
Good morning, I know they're here,
Yep,
so we'll let,
So last time we were here, we noted that the chimney was completed, and we've reset this matter for May 22nd. Mr. Luter has provided me, and I'm going to provide the board with some photos of the status of
As-
the property as of yesterday.
as well as on the third page is a bid proposal from a contractor for the remaining work, which includes siding, a window, the fence, and the rear stairs. One of the pictures you noticed, there's a broken stair on the rear stairs. My thought is if we can get the window and siding done, maybe do a repair to that stair, then we can move forward. They can stop coming, we can get it off the list that way, and then everything else, the fence and the rear deck and that stuff can come along later. But I'd say the siding and window is the,
One of the things we talked about was with Ms. Redfield last time, and I'm interested to hear her response, is whether or not she looked at whether painting as an option was more economical than the siding. Because as you can see from the quote from the contractor on the last page of the material I gave you, it's pretty significant. And the other part that I wanted to find out is that fencing quote, is that for the whole fence, or is that just for, because the back opening is, I think, what we were mainly concerned about.
right.
I'm sure the neighbors are concerned about the rest of the fence, but at least enclosing that back end is a big concern for the city. So again, I guess I'd look to Ms. Redfield for an update. So Ms. Redfield, if you can give us an update, I'd appreciate it.
then I have one more thing. My only, besides the continuing to upgrade the house, my other biggest concern is making sure that the high grass in the back along the alley line was cut.
Yeah. That's completed. So Bill, what was the two things that you said need to be,
The exterior of the house, whether it be painted or sided, and that window, and I think everything else we can fall into place. I think if we make the house appear nicer or have it sided or painted, it'll fall more in line with what's along in the neighborhood there, and the complaints will stop as far as the way the house looks.
okay, so we need to ask Ms. Redfield if she's considered painting the house instead of putting siding on there. And then we also need to ask how much of this estimate for the fence, is that the entire fence or just that back section?
Okay, it is for only just the back part of the fence. We were just gonna fix that later. I've already
You need that mic
fixed
closer,
the,
yeah.
oh, sorry.
There you go.
I did ask the contractor about the fence that's in the front. I'm sorry, no, the one that's in the back. I am trying to save up some money to get that fixed later. He did all of the measuring for me. And, we are going to talk about that just a little bit later, try to get it just a little bit cheaper for me. So, question, did you fix the side? Okay. On the other side, where my neighbor is living, there is no fence that's there. So I'm trying to ask the contractor just about doing one fence just for right now. Because there's so many things that needs to be done, like the windows and the siding. So I'm just trying to look for a little bit cheaper price.
What about, Ms. Redfield, what about the paint, what about the option of painting the house? Is that something she's considered?
Okay, you have two choices. One, paint the house or siding. Which one do you want? Which one you prefer? I would prefer siding. I did paint it long time ago, but the paint would start to peel off.
I
So-
understand that, but the siding is so expensive that it's going to, I'm afraid, put this job off for maybe, for quite a while, and painting is an option that can be done immediately, potentially.
And it might be more within her, within her,
budget,
within, yeah, within your budget.
That's a good question.
I do understand. That is very clear. I understand.
Okay. Bill, is the fence, is that something that has to be replaced, or can it be tore down?
The
mean-
fence to be torn down, but I know the back fence has already been removed where it's falling over.
Well, most of it, yeah,
Most
except
of
for,
it,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And I know their concern, they say the last meeting was people walking through their yard. And I can appreciate that for safety concerns, but as far as,
City code, it's not required.
Yeah, that's what we're wondering. I mean, if money's a problem here, and
$8,500.
our focus is on the house. We've got the backyard cleaned up. If we get the house looking better, I think we can move forward and pass.
okay, so is Ms. Redfield aware of what you deem to be necessary immediately?
I think we discussed it at the last meeting.
Okay, so what timetable are we on with those things?
Well, it all depends on her quotes and when she has the money to get to work.
So we're looking at window, and we're looking at either siding or painting, basically, at this point.
And I feel like we have to make a decision on that, as soon as possible.
Okay, okay? I will. I will find a way.
Okay, I understand that does she have a time frame that she can, at least do the window, right?
The window should be done before the siding or any painting gets done.
We also want we want it to look, like you said, as appealing as possible.
Right, and have it fit and blend in more in the neighborhood.
Yes.
And I think, again, painting or siding would bring that along.
Do we have an estimate for the window?
Okay.
Do we know how much the window is? $850?
So Ms. Redfield,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Ms. Redfield, is the windows something that can be done immediately?
Yeah. Do you have $850 to fix the window immediately, not later? I will let you know.
I think that's something we got to know today.
I can do the window like after June. Okay, but like maybe the first week in June. The first week in June, can fix the window.
So maybe we can suggest a 3-week status.
Okay.
And have an answer for the paint or siding at that
Yeah,
time.
exactly. So a 3-week status, require the window, I guess city's position would be 3-week status to require the window to be complete. And then, at that time, also report back on the timeline for the siding/paint.
I'm sorry, can you just repeat that one more
I'm sorry,
time for me?
I didn't mean to be
that's
speaking too
okay.
quick. Yeah, so the city's position would be to request the board to have the window repaired within 3 weeks, set a status for 3 weeks, and at that time also request and require Ms. Redfield to have a timeline for completion of the siding and/or painting.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay,
No
that's what
problem.
we'll- That's what we'll do then. Okay.
Well,
Is that okay?
12th or 19th, your choice.
Well, 19th holiday.
yeah, 12. Yeah,
Oh,
do the 12.
it sure is Juneteenth. All right, so June
12th
12th.
it is.
I will, Kevin, you have an objection to going a week after 1917 or 12?
Sure, 26th.
Okay.
Okay,
June 26th?
Yep.
yes.
Well, should give her more than enough time.
Okay,
Can
thank you.
Ms. Redfield, we want to make sure that on June 26th, when she's here next, that she does have a solid timeline if she's going to paint or put siding on the house. We would appreciate that.
And the window complete.
And the window complete, correct?
Okay, all right.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to set this for status for June 26, 2025.
Aye, second.
all in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter B, status for 1563 177th Place.
So I've got some photos for you of this as well. Last time we were here, which was on May 1st, we were informed that there was a new owner, Chris Rhodes, and we reset it for today's date. Here are the photos as of today. You can see it's still in, it looks like there's been some exterior cleanup, no work on the inside yet. The aggravating part of this is that we did enter into a rehab agreement with the then owner, Wency Torres, on February 6th this year, and he just ended up flipping the house. So that never sits well with the law department. Of course, the building department has had success with Mr. Rhodes, and I'm hoping that he has a plan to quickly rehab this home.
Now, we're simply waiting on the paperwork to show that he has ownership of the property. Once he has that, the bond can be posted and he can begin pulling permits. We've done the demo inspection. I would assume that in the last, I'm not sure when I did it, but I'm sure in the last 6 months, not much has changed in that house. Because the house itself was solid. It was the rear porch that had overhang that had collapsed.
Can we assume that the gentleman that we had the rehab agreement that flipped the house, we won't be doing business with him anymore?
Well, definitely give us a red flag next time if he does come around with one.
Okay, so you guys are okay with this then?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to
month?
see Mr. Rhodes sign it. I mean, it shouldn't take long for us to get the deed. I mean, if there was an issue with the deed, I could have looked that up. So I just asked Mr. Luter to make sure we get a copy of the deed quickly. If he's having trouble with that, I'll look it up, and if it isn't in Mr. Rhodes' name, that raises additional concerns. So I'd like a pretty short status to get this moving, maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, again, I won't be here on that 12th, but
Is that the 12th?
that's the 12th.
Can we do it in a week? I mean, all I need is the deed and like, okay, Mr. Rhodes is gonna move forward.
Next week is the 29th.
Next week's the 29th, we could do June 5th.
Sure, June
Yeah,
5th,
I'm
Bill,
here.
Gives
does that
everybody a
work?
little bit more
I'll be
time.
here.
Yeah,
Okay, June 5th.
Yeah, 2 weeks, it's 3 weeks, I won't be here.
Motion to set this for status for June 5th, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
thank you.
Letter C, status for 3054 Crane.
This is a garage, repair only. Mr. Luter has some
A minute, I have some good news for you.
just to set the record, last time, this was
Yeah.
on January 16th, Mr. Vincent Leonard appeared. The door was installed, but was going to talk to I think his brother Jeffrey to have the soffit and fascia repaired, and we set it for status today, so we gave him 4 months to do that.
Yeah, before he gets a chance to speak, I can say they have been doing small projects around the house. They've had a new roof installed, new front porch, new back porch, and in that process, they've had the roof on the garage done. They've installed the door, they've done the soffit and fascia. I have no issue if we issuing an order to rescind for the garage. It's a brick garage, so it's in solid shape. Everything that was wrong has been repaired.
Yeah, no objection from the city. If Mr. Luter is satisfied with the repairs, we'll request an order to rescind and release, and we'll have it ready for next meeting.
Yeah, it's night and day from what I remember it, so good job, sir. So we're good with that?
Linda, you'll add it to the agenda next week?
So no action?
No action. The next action of the board will be to have the order to rescind and release. Pending any costs being paid, we'll have that next week. So.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, letter D, status for 7235 through 41 Calumet Avenue.
So this is the one with Mr. Peterson. I don't think he's here today. However, this is kind of fallen on me, and just the fact that I have to get up to speed with with Jordan in the absence of the inspections director currently. So I have some paperwork that I owe Mr. Peterson. We're going back and forth with, but I want to get Jordan up to speed on it and make sure he's good with it. So if we could reset this for maybe that June 12th date. I know Mr. Luter won't be here, but I think that's okay. Okay, that's on your, yeah.
Motion to set this for status for June 12th, 2025.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter E, status for 251 Detroit.
Got some photos on this one. or maybe the inspectors, whoever did those,
I
thank
was-
you.
I was running around all day yesterday
All
getting those
right,
pictures, so.
thank you. We were here last on April 24th. Mr. Luter noted that the exterior was to be painted and that he was going to inspect the property, and there was garbage pickup that was needed around the house, and we set it for status on 5/22. The last time Ms. De La Paz appeared, I don't know if she's here today.
No, she is not.
Okay, was January 16th, in which she estimated the estimate for the windows, 24 total, was $2,600 for the, or it was $2,600 for the front four. She was trying to save up money for that. The kitchen window was done, and the floors were done. So that, and Mr. Luter was going to do an inspection. So I'm not sure if the inspection's taken place, but this is where we sit today.
No, I received an email from Ms. De La Paz while I was out of the office earlier this week. I did touch base with her yesterday in response to the email. Her tax return didn't come like she had hoped. Apparently, her ex-husband had some outstanding, or they had an outstanding bill together, and her tax return was seized or something along those lines in the email. I should have printed it up. She had a few other comments about why she was put in this position, and said she couldn't get off today to be here because of something at work. I did offer her the ability to appear by Zoom. The last communication I had with her is I gave her the phone number to call law to find out how to get on Zoom, and I don't know if she ever called anybody yesterday. Because I know if she can't get off work, if she can take 5 minutes from her day to appear by Zoom, and we'd accept that to explain everything, but she hasn't. Ultimately, this house is very similar to the Garfield house.
Yeah.
They get it looking nicer, we're gonna be done. She just needs to get to that point.
Yeah, and I feel like we need to hold her as responsible as we're holding the
Yes.
Garfield house, so.
Yeah, and, and Ms. Redfield shows up all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, it's one of those, right, I think the board is always patient with owner-occupied situations, and of course, is also, patient if financial matters are part of the issue. So I think we just need to get Ms. De La Paz in front of the board so she can set forth a plan. She has done some work on it, it's definitely improved, but from a kind of a curb appeal situation, we still, have a little bit ways to go.
Okay, so do we send her a letter to be here, next week or the week after?
June 5th?
We can do the 5th or we can do the 26th, whichever,
June 5th?
6/5.
And then we cross that bridge if she
And
doesn't show up.
Maybe in
again.
that letter, we can include if she can't be in person, if she can at least do Zoom, if that's a possibility, or would you
I
prefer?
really-
Yeah, no, I'd rather,
Okay.
I'd
well,
rather see her in person.
yeah, I mean, the only thing is that I know she's a single mom and she works, so the only thing I'd be concerned about, and I get it, if you want to order her to appear in person, that's up to you, but if she does have financial issues and
And work.
work, I don't want to, but yeah, if you order to appear either way, but we need her at least on Zoom.
Yeah, at minimum.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, we'll try the Zoom.
Yeah, either one. I mean, preferably in
It's her
person,
choice.
but.
I mean, we'll,
Zoom's, yeah, either one, and I guess we'll cross the bridge if she does neither.
agree.
Right, she does
We'll
neither,
decide
then we'll
then,
figure out
okay.
from there.
Okay,
Motion to set this for status for June 5th, 2025.
And I second.
all in favor, say aye. Aye. Yeah. Letter F, status for 4934 Ash.
This is the first time, was set for status because back in, just get a date here, March of '25, we entered a rehab agreement with Mr. Walter Jackson. Is he present today?
No, I haven't seen it.
All right, the rehab agreement expires June 6th, so we set it today for status. I've got some updated photos.
So they just obtained, I don't have the date, but they just obtained the permit within the last 2 weeks to do roofing and siding. As you can see, the roof has been replaced, the siding is down to being house wrapped, and I know how that feels in my house, the same position. As far as interior work, they haven't pulled any permits to do any, so I hope they're not doing any on the interior. Looks like the front window may have fallen out. I know it was pretty rotted. So on the front picture, you can see they got a board over it, but all that will require a separate permit. So I don't know if we want to do a short, maybe get the owner here, find out what his.
Yeah, I'd
since it
request
took
that
so long.
Mr. Luter make some contact with Mr. Johnson. Sorry, yes, Walter Jackson.
And originally,
Which is LaPorte County Holdings LLC.
right, and originally, he wasn't sure if he was going to wholesale it or if he was going to fix it up, and then he decided to make the repairs, or at least start them. So hopefully he's going to see it all the way through. This was a two-unit with a main level and then a basement apartment. It has to be converted back to a single-family home. So we want to maybe do the 26th, give me some time, or you want to do the 2 weeks on the 5th?
Yeah, 26 is fine for me, with me.
And then that time I can make sure he appears.
Motion to set
Or
this
do
for
best.
status for June 26, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Okay, number 11, late rental registration hearings, letter A, 2060 Sherman.
Morning, Board.
Morning.
Joe.
Anybody here from 2060 Sherman?
Do not see either Rami or Melissa Mansour here today.
Okay, go ahead.
Property address 2060 Sherman. Owner has owned the property since 11/13 of 2020. He was previously in front of the board for 2024's rental registrations. This property was marked uninhabitable on 3/25, or March of '25 for poor conditions. At that point, myself, as another inspector, indicated to the property manager, which was Rami Mansour, that building permits, electrical permits, and plumbing permits need to be pulled to ensure that the property is up to code and is suitable for living conditions. No permits have been pulled. I do not see any way that this property can have a safe, suitable habitation. I would request that we deny his rental approval.
Deny approving it, or are we still
There-
attaching a late, we're not doing anything with it as far as the late fee goes?
With this property, he needs to bring it back into compliance. It has not been done. It's not suitable for habitation. I would assume no action needed to be taken on this rental
Gotcha.
until the pre-conditions that were met when we went out there.
Okay. No action necessary at this time then. And we'll move on to letter B for 7344 Madison. Good morning, ma'am. If you, yeah, there you go. Could you give us your name and your association with the property?
Karen Miller, I'm the property manager.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Miller, can you tell us what happened in 24 and 25?
I can. My client bought this house in '24, June of '24. He lived there himself. He was an active duty military guy, so he got called out and let his brother stay there. Brother moved in a girlfriend. They hired us in August to get rid of all of them, which we did. And I didn't really even think about registering it when I took it over in August because the brother lived there. And so I have a new tenant in there as of February of this year. So we tried to register it for 25, but
Okay.
Property owner previously was listed as the owner from January 14th of 2014, and then a warranty deed was recorded on June 14th of 2024. We do not have a suitable mailing address for the property owner, as well as there is a homestead tax deduction being claimed on this property. We are here for rental registration of 2024 and 25.
Okay, so the question though, Jordan, is was it rented in 24? Was her brother was that something that we need to look into?
There's no indication that there was occupancy during 2024. At that point, if there was no occupant in 2024, it would be required that the property is registered as vacant for 2024, and then a lease agreement is provided for 2025 to indicate when occupancy had taken place.
Are we
and I'll,
good?
yeah, and I'll let him know about the homestead. He needs to get that off because
Yeah, that'll
he's
be-
not
be filled
living
out
there
right
anymore.
away.
Yeah.
And I have a prepared
Oh,
homestead
awesome.
exemption.
Thank you.
The highlighted areas are the points that needed to be filled out and then sent back to me so that I
Okay.
can properly notify the auditor.
So do you want it registered for 24 or no?
That's the question we have, Jordan.
With no occupancy in 2024, we would require that it be registered as vacant property, which is a separate registration.
Separate
type.
form, yeah.
But how much, I want to make sure she's aware, how much does that cost?
The vacant property registration is $300. It's normally done prior to October 1st every year if there's an unoccupied property.
I don't think there was vacant long enough for that though, because I think you gotta, what was the
August.
situation in 24, bought it in June?
Ownership of warranty deed was recorded on June 14th of 2024, which leaves
60 days
60 days
to register.
to register as a rental. Well, so it's 30 days from occupancy in 2024. We don't have determination of occupancy for that time frame between June and October, which would indicate that it is a vacant property.
How about the water bill? Because Marco lived there.
He did live there?
He did.
Okay.
We usually won't, I mean, I get, we usually won't enforce the vacant property on a short-term basis, not that I wanna, it's just that, I don't know. Usually we wanna just get him registered and get moving,
Right.
right? So,
That's why I'm asking if Ms. Miller would be better off just paying the rental registration for 24.
well, if
And
it was a
25.
brother,
Yeah.
then there's an affidavit that you can waive that. You can
Right.
waive,
I mean, I'll register it for 24, it's.
If he wasn't serving, he'd be occupied one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just we're gonna waive the late fee for both years. And then obviously going forward, you know that before April 15th of every year.
Oh, yes,
you
of
have to
course,
register.
yep, of
Okay.
course, yep. All right.
Okay.
Motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Are you just gonna pay it for 24?
I think that's better for her. So that's $10. Yeah. Yeah, and Ms. Miller, if you want to stay till after the meeting, you can take this downstairs and pay the $10.
Sounds good, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to letter C, 7055 Alabama. Good morning.
Good morning. Emma Garza for Favela Property Investments.
Okay,
And it is actually 7005
Yes.
Alabama.
7005.
7005 Alabama
Gotcha.
is the correct address.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
So the property was bought in November 26th of 2024. It was supposed to be a fix and flip, but then the market wasn't too good and they decided to rent it in, I want to say late January. And we tried to register earlier this year, but because they bought it in late '24, they requested for me to be here.
Gotcha.
Property owner has owned the property since 12/2 of '24. It is a new first-time registration. We would require a lease agreement to determine when the tenant took occupancy. If it was after the 2024 date and was in January, you wouldn't be required to register for 24. You would only be required to register for 25. But this property does still have a homestead tax deduction attached to it, and the taxes were paid in May.
I can bring that for you.
Okay.
I believe that was already removed since they refinanced.
Well, just in case it wasn't, we have it for 'em, just so that
Thank you.
it's prepared and ready to go.
Do you know if it was rented after January?
It was after.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you need from her to,
2025's rental registration would be the only thing that we're here for, as
Okay.
well as to ensure that the homestead tax deduction is filled out
That's
and
right.
brought back.
and you understand both of those things, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Yep.
A motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Okay, letter D, 4911 Hickory.
Hi,
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi. Morning. Could you give us your name, sir, and your association with the property?
I'm just the owner.
Excuse me?
I'm the owner.
You're the owner?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name?
Ruben
Last name, Ruben?
Tirado.
Okay. Tell us what happened in 25?
I just forgot the pay the registration because I don't receive the notification.
Yeah, that is not required from the city. That's not done every time. So you're gonna have to make sure that you're aware that by every year before April 15th that you register.
Okay,
Okay, is this the first time you've been late?
yes.
Okay, go ahead, Jordan.
Property owner has owned the property since 3/3 of 2023, has not missed a previous rental registration. We are here for 2025's rental registration only. There is also a homestead tax deduction being claimed on this property, and we do not have a suitable mailing address.
So, sir, can you provide Jordan with your address, your mailing address, before you leave today? And you're also going to have to fill out a form to remove the homestead exemption. I want to make sure you understand what that means.
So this is the homestead tax deduction. Grab the tax form for you so that you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing. So right here for 2024, it shows that you're claiming the homestead as well as the supplemental. We are here, this form is only for the homestead.
Getting through this
tax
in a very valuable way.
Okay, so the highlighted areas need to be filled out and returned to me before you're able to
We need you
register
here
the property
every week.
for 2025,
Yes, we
okay?
do.
You're our glue.
Yep. You got that.
So you have 30 days to register depending on what the board decides. So if you need help filling that out, you can, get assistance. But it needs to be completed within 30 days when you register the property.
Okay, can I fill it up and leave it downstairs?
So after the board makes their determination and you are able to either register the property or pay the late fee, you will be required to fill that out and provide it to me downstairs after this meeting. So you will have time to fill this form out.
Require him to fill out remove the homestead exemption. Okay, you understand, sir?
A little bit, not.
Okay, Jordan, maybe after the meeting, can you just help him a little more?
I can discuss this matter further with him so that we can,
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, letter E. It looks like there's 4 properties,
there's,
just 2 properties?
yeah, it is only the 1219 through 21 and then the 1223 through 25 address are the properties listed through Lake County as well as what we have for our records.
Okay, so 1219 through 21, 169, and 1223 through 25, 169. Gotcha. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Could you give us your name and your association with the properties?
I'm Deborah Workman, owner of the properties.
You own both of them?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us what happened in 25?
Well, I was in the hospital. I know you guys hear this story all the time, but I was in the hospital. I was real sick for a while. And I couldn't. I even had to close my business for a little bit.
Have you been late before? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
For the property of 1219 through 21, 169th Street, property owner has owned the property since 8/4 of 2023. She was previously in front of the board for a 2023 rental registration, which we do not have a decision on, nor do we have a 2023 rental registration submitted to us.
I think that was when they were giving out the cards, and then one year they didn't, and I don't know when does it have to be done by the 1st of the year, or I still don't know.
The rental registration period where we would accept that year's rental registration is from January 1st to April 15th. Any date past
Okay.
that would be delinquent.
Okay.
For the address of 122325 169th Street, property owners own the property since 1992. We are here for 2025's rental registration, was also previously in front of the board for 2023's, which is not resolved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to waive the late fee. So you understand you have from January 1st to April 15th of every year to register your properties?
Okay, it won't happen again.
Okay.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am. You can, after the meeting, we're going to give you a copy of these, and you can take it downstairs and pay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to letter F. You want to do these one at a time?
However the board wants to proceed.
I guess we probably should go one at a time. Let's start with 7601 Kentucky. I mean, I'll take them all, yeah. I'll take 'em. Unless Jordan, is the story the same for all of them?
They're all for 25, right, Jordan?
They're all for 25,
Yes.
they're all one unit?
All property addresses listed here are under a Dansel Holdings LLC or a BSD Holdings LLC as the property manager. All properties are here for 2025's rental registration. No other issues with these properties, have not missed previously.
Okay, then I'm gonna read we're gonna deal with the following properties, 7601 Kentucky, 7613 Kentucky, 3303 167th Street, 167th Street, 3320 176th Street,
They're both 176th Street.
Yes.
are both 176th Street, okay. So 3303 176th Street, 3320 176th Street, 7403 Carolina, and 7620 Gulfway. And sir, can you give us your name and your association with the property?
Yep, my name's Alex Torija, I'm the landlord.
Okay, can you tell us what happened with all these properties?
I just simply slipped my mind. I've got an alert in my phone to pay it by the 15th. 7601, I actually purchased in 2010. I've never been late, and I've no good excuse. I could blame it on my toddlers or whatever, but I came in on the 18th to try to pay it, and this
too
is
late.
where I'm at now.
Okay, then we're good, you're good, Jordan? Okay.
Okay. Motion to waive the late fees.
I
Thank you.
second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, letter G, 4748 Pine. Good morning, ma'am.
Hi, good morning.
Can we have your name and your association, please?
Yeah, my name is Sarah Hernandez, and I work for Vilgar Property Management, and we are the property management company for 4748 Pine.
Okay, can you let us know what happened in 24 and 25?
It was just a clerical error on our end. It didn't make its way to my desk. I handle the rental registration, so we didn't find out till 2025 when we did the renewal process that it was not registered in 2024.
Property owners on the property since 3/7 of '24, here for 24 and 25's rental registration, no other issues.
Motion to waive the late fees.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Moving on to letter H, 208 142nd and 4630 Johnson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Do we have your name and your association with the property?
My name is Juan Ruiz, and I'm the owner of the property. The reason that I was late, I was last year, the lady told me on April, and I was thinking it was like the whole April, and I came and I was late. I didn't know it was the 15th of April. So it was my mistake by misunderstanding it.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Property owner for 208 142nd Street is on the property since 2015. Here for 2025, no other issues, has not missed previously. For 4630 Johnson, property owners on the property since 1991. We're here for 2025 rental registration, no other issues, has not missed previously.
Motion to waive the late fees.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yep.
And if you could just wait here, they'll get a copy of the form for you that you can take down to the inspector's office for you to fill out.
Together. Last but not least, letter I, 1704 Indianapolis Boulevard.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Could you give us your name and your association with the property?
It's Mike Larson with Rose Real Estate.
Okay. Can you let us know what happened in 25?
We actually have the building with a Whiting address. When you search in Google, it has it there. Our software has it as Whiting, which is the reason why we didn't submit it on time.
Okay. Yeah, there's several addresses up there with Whiting. Yeah, you know that,
Yeah.
I'm sure. So,
Property owners on the property since 9/3 of '24. We are here for 2025's rental registration of this 11-unit building.
Okay, any problems or anything?
No other issues, has not missed previously.
Okay.
Okay, motion to waive the late fee.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Sir, right after the meeting, you can pay this if you'd like.
Yes,
Okay, thank you very much. $5. Okay, number 12, the meeting's now open to the public. Anybody have anything they want to say?
There was one other rental registration hearing that was scheduled for a Scott Mitchell.
That was last week.
I have for May 22nd.
He was here last week, wasn't he?
I don't have my notes for that.
Yeah.
I just prepared the forms if necessary at this point.
Yeah, I remember Scott was here last week.
Well, because there seems to be a little confusion, I think we need to get a hold of him and have him here maybe next week. Is that okay? If we could have Linda get that to make sure he's here next week. I don't want to act if there's confusion, so. Okay, anything?
Understood.
Anybody else from, you got anything else, Jordan? You good?
No, sir.
Okay, anything else from the public? Okay. Good to go.
Motion to adjourn.